Now, in politics, President Park Geun-hye's grand plans to reform the nation in the wake of April's Sewol-ho ferry disaster have been stuck in first gear, due in large part to the deadlock in the National Assembly. So, in an attempt to drum up some harmony, the President on Thursday invited the floor leaders of the ruling and opposition parties to the presidential office for their first such meeting. Choi You-sun reports.
It was the first time President Park had invited the floor leadership from both the ruling and opposition parties to the presidential office. The president, who has been criticized for a lack of dialogue and cooperation with the opposition side, positively assessed the weekly meeting between the rival parties' floor leadership.
어떤 국민을 위한 상생에 국회로 이제 그 상을 잘 만들어가면 국민들께서도 크게 박수를 치시리라고 생각을 합니다.
A major development from Thursday's talks was an agreement to pass a bill designed to prevent a repeat of a tragedy like April's deadly ferry accident.
With an aim to pass the special legislation on the Sewol-ho ferry at the July 16th plenary session, the policy chiefs of the two parties will start negotiating the bill with the standing committees.
The rival parties need to narrow differences over the Sewol-ho Ferry Investigative Committee's authority and ways to compensate the victims and their families. President Park asked for bipartisan support behind her government and public sector reform-related bills put forth in the aftermath of the ferry disaster and a series of bills aimed at revitalizing the economy. A key part of the president's government restructuring plan involves setting up a safety ministry to oversee the management of all forms of natural and man-made disasters. The two parties in response said they'll seek to pass the bills next month. To the opposition's request that the president reconsider two controversial cabinet nominations, President Park said she would take it into consideration. The president asked the opposition to participate in her envisioned Inter-Korean Unification Preparatory Committee and said she hoped to meet both parties' floor leadership on a regular basis. Choi You-sun, Arirang News.